Good day, and thank you for watching. If you or someone you know is facing a criminal charge in California, it is important to understand how the system works and what your rights are. Criminal law can be complex and the process can feel overwhelming, especially if you are unfamiliar with the legal system. Today, I'm going to walk you through the fundamentals of criminal law in California. How cases begin, what happens after an arrest, and what you need to know to protect your rights. Let's start at the beginning. A criminal case typically begins with an investigation. Law enforcement officers may receive a report, conduct surveillance, or gather evidence before making an arrest. In some situations, a person may be arrested at the scene. In others, they may be contacted later or issued a citation. Once an arrest is made, the individual is usually taken into custody and booked. This process includes recording personal information, taking fingerprints, and documenting the alleged offense. After booking, the next step is often bail. Bail is a financial guarantee that allows a person to be released from custody while their case is pending. The amount of bail depends on the severity of the charges and other factors such as criminal history and risk of flight. In some cases, a person may be released on their own recognizance, meaning they promise to return to court without paying bail. In other cases, bail may be denied altogether. The next critical stage is the arraignment. At the arraignment, the accused is formally informed of the charges against them and asked to enter a plea. The plea can be guilty, not guilty, or no contest. This is also where the court may address bail conditions and set future court dates. If a not guilty plea is entered, the case moves forward. In felony cases, there is usually a preliminary hearing. This is where the prosecution must show that there is enough evidence to proceed to trial. It is not a full trial, but it is an important step in determining whether the case will continue. After that, the case enters the pretrial phase. During this stage, both sides exchange evidence in a process called discovery. This includes police reports, witness statements, and any other relevant materials. Attorneys may file motions to challenge evidence, request dismissal of charges, or address legal issues before trial. Many cases are resolved during this phase through negotiations, often resulting in a plea agreement. However, if the case is not resolved, it proceeds to trial. At trial, the prosecution must prove the defendant's guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard of proof in the legal system. The defense has the opportunity to challenge the evidence, cross-examine witnesses, and present their own case. A jury, or sometimes a judge, will then determine the outcome. If the defendant is found not guilty, the case ends. If they are found guilty, the case moves to sentencing. Sentencing can include a range of penalties depending on the offense. These may include fines, probation, community service, or incarceration. California law provides guidelines for sentencing, but judges often have discretion within those limits. Now let's talk about your rights. One of the most important rights is the right to remain silent. You are not required to answer questions from law enforcement, and anything you say can be used against you. You also have the right to an attorney. If you cannot afford one, the court will appoint a public defender to represent you. Another key right is protection against unlawful searches and seizures. Law enforcement must generally have a warrant or a valid legal reason to search your property. Understanding and exercising these rights is critical. Many people make the mistake of trying to explain themselves to law enforcement without legal guidance. While this may feel like the right thing to do, it can often create more problems than it solves. Now let's address misdemeanors versus felonies. Criminal offenses in California are generally divided into these two categories. Misdemeanors are less serious offenses and may carry penalties such as fines, probation, or up to 1 year in county jail. Felonies are more serious and can result in longer periods of incarceration, including time in state prison. Some offenses are known as wobblers, meaning they can be charged as either a misdemeanor or a felony depending on the circumstances. Another important aspect is criminal records. A conviction can have long-term consequences beyond the immediate penalties. It can affect employment opportunities, housing, professional licenses, and more. In some cases, individuals may be eligible for expungement, which can help clear their record. However, not all cases qualify, and the process requires meeting specific criteria. Let's also discuss the importance of timing. Criminal cases move quickly, and deadlines matter. Evidence must be reviewed, motions must be filed, and decisions must be made within specific timeframes. Delays or inaction can limit your options and affect the outcome of your case. Finally, let's talk about strategy. Criminal cases are not just about what happened, they are about what can be proven. how evidence is presented, and how the law is applied. Each case is unique, and the approach must be tailored to the specific facts and circumstances. In conclusion, criminal law in California involves a structured process that begins with an investigation and can lead to arrest, court proceedings, and potentially trial and sentencing. Understanding this process, knowing your rights, and taking informed action are essential to protecting yourself. If you are facing a criminal charge, do not ignore it or assume it will resolve on its own. Take it seriously, stay informed, and make decisions that protect your future. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay prepared, and take your rights seriously.